welcome to Eve's Singularity. I'm Major Freak. I'm gonna test something really odd. I noticed that when I was warping in pairs like Minor Freak and Major Freak, and then followed up with a couple of minutes later with Hereticus and Rain Tan, all in the same ships, paired up, warped together. Not group warp, just warp quickly, so they landed at the same time pretty much. And I didn't get a reinforcement spawn on the second wave, which is really weird. When I warped in Seneche alone, she triggered a reinforcement wave. When I warped in the Estero, once I got back in the Estero, it triggered another wave. Not large, but still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to warp one at a time and see what occurs. It should be cap drained. Or if not, in a couple of minutes at the very most. Okay, so once I land, I'll send another. There you go. I'll log that sucker up, start firing. Pew pew. Alright. So I'll get a healthy spawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 omens, 3 crurs, and an augur. So Logi, 1 Logi. So I'll land. Of course, I'll start taking a lot of damage really quick. 6 omens are usually pretty tough. So I'll do it one at a time. I've been getting lucky in the prior spawns. I've been only getting, so type. Okay, so 3 and 6, right? And here comes the damage. So 3 and 6. I'll just get that set up. Okay, 3 and 6, right? Do you see anything? No, I don't see another spawn. We'll just be patient. It is quite a lot of damage, actually, but not an insane amount. But we'll patiently wait, and nothing's happening. We'll send in Minor Freak. Very, very odd. Yeah, it was really weird because I was warping in pairs, and the second pair didn't spawn anything, and I thought it was very, very bizarre. So I didn't think warping in one at a time would work. Okay, it's 3 and 6, okay. Okay, that's 2 and 3, okay. I'll warp in another one. And it's still 3 and 6. Very, very utterly bizarre. Very, very bizarre. How's my nuding going along? Pretty heavy, but the FOB has been drained. I'm still getting attacked. There's still 3 and 6. And 1 auger, of course. Okay. 3 and 6, no change. Alright. Get the cap chain going. Did I do that right? No, I didn't do that right. We're doing it a little bit different today. Alright. And finally, warp in Seneche. So I've got no new spawns. This is very bizarre. I certainly didn't expect this at all. Yeah, quite a shock. It just means it's totally broken, of course. I mean, this is just silly. It's hard for me to... Yeah, it's just when you warp anything else, it'll trigger a response. So it's definitely broken. Because this is certainly an exploit. Oh, let's just say an unintended feature because of lack of programming competence. It's not... If you want to... Oh, hello. So, we have got an extra spawn. So it looks like beyond the 4th, the 5th player will spawn something. Because we've got 1, 2... We got 1, 2... We've just got 4 crewers spawning. That's it. Might be a bit brutal on the cap, but yeah. Fascinating. And yeah, with this 6 omens, is, as you can see, is not overly punishing, you know? I'll just... Now, there's also... I suspect that if I'm energy transferring, it'll be more of an issue for targeting priorities for rats. We'll see. Each type of rat is different, of course. But mainly I'm just going to assume that if I'm not cap transferring, that I won't be targeted that much. And we'll see. I mean, everybody's pretty much gotten their shields taken out. We will see if Seneche gets targeted shortly, or if at all. It'll happen. Eventually it'll happen. Anything on the field does have a small percentage chance of being targeted by everything if, say, other things are remote repping each other, and especially energy transfer. So we're going to test the energy transfer, lack of energy transfer, and the others are. So we're going to see if I get targeted. Yeah. Ah, there we go, and one attacked. So it's possible. The FOB will definitely attack everybody equally. But once its cap is drained, it really can't do much besides screw up people's targeting range, and that's about it. My cap's doing good under pressure from a lot of crewers. It's the Ashimus you got to worry about. Yeah, and the cap drain took, what, approximately 9 minutes? It's between 7 and 15, honestly. Okay, 2 are on me. I'm assuming they're going to switch back to the R's at some point. Alright. FOB half gone. Won't take long now. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. The newt range is 265. The spawn range is 360 something. I call these the defense fleet. I call the hauler spawn. If you know, hauler will trigger a different spawn. The response fleet, logi, or it's mostly it's going to be frigate, but sometimes you'll get battleships and sometimes you'll get omens, so don't count on it always being weak. The frigate spawn for the hauler is usually, most of the time, it has logi, 1 or 2 logi. They're Inquisitors, I think. Anyways, the EMR logi frigates, they will not rep anything else other than its particular spawn. The augur will not rep the response fleet, you know, vice versa. If so, there's sometimes 1 augur, sometimes 2, rarely 3. You'd have to be very unlucky for that, but you got to remember each augur means 1 less omen. 1 Ashimu means 1 less something else. One more Kur means 1 less something else. So if you, one time I faced all omens, and it was pretty intense. Let me tell you, the DPS out of omens are the scariest. DPS out of the battleships are the weakest. Well, compared to a butt ton of freaking omens, that's pretty intense. You can get, the response fleet does not starburst. These guys do. The response fleet at an asteroid belt will chase indefinitely a scout just orbiting at really high speeds. Oopsie. Oh, I finally got targeted. 2-3, Seneche, 2-3, Seneche 2-3. Oh dear, let's keep her alive. That should do it. Alright, Yeah, the haulers and miners will despawn once you kill the response fleet. I'm almost 80% positive of that. If you gank the haulers and miners, I'm 50% sure the response fleet despawns. Once you gank the response fleet, I believe 33% sure that give me a sec here. 33% sure that I forgot what I was saying. Give me a sec. I should be fine. Oh, actually, on the live server, I've switched it back to horizontal and having it this way. I've been trying the vertical for a while to see how it works, and I can't like it. It's just I tried to like it, and I just can't. Almost dead. There we go. I'll just set my reps back to the people I'm cap transferring to, and yeah, there you go. Cool. Yeah, cap stable, pretty good. Yeah, and I don't expect to be shot at very much if I'm not cap transferring it. I'm just going with that. Of course, once the FOB is dead, these guys do not despawn. I do believe the the response fleet despawns. They warp off because their charges have despawned. But the defense fleet, yeah, they'll stick around. And if you're getting pointed, you're kind of stuck. Best way out is MJD. Those will work just fine. Or you just kill them, like I'm going to do now. Yeah, there we go. That works fine. Now, key, of course, is to take out this little bugger. Now, I do believe you're able to hit it with we'll try Mystic. Pretty sure you can hit, yeah. Grazes. Hits. Okay, we're fine. Oops. Mystic. And it goes down pretty quick, of course, even with another Logi on it. Like if you had 2 augers. And with the range, oh, 45, okay, it's outside range now. it's going down. Yeah, but I was told that if you're having problems just getting range, just shoot something close and the augers will trundle closer. There you go. And it's pretty much Snore City from here on in. Oh, cute. Yeah, this is interesting. Good thing I checked. When you get that, it's just a skin. But the problem is, in order to open the skin, you can't... Oh, what if you can open it here? Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, unfortunately you can't open it here. You have to take it out and guess, look at that. It's you'll need a freighter. Yeah. So, but they're pretty cool. It is they will give you a Blood Raiders energy neutralizer, blueprint BPC. It's pretty dope. I'll eventually want to get all my stations to have, not equipped, but standing by, just in case I think some fool's gonna attack me that's not quite up to snuff. It can do a lot of damage. The yeah, they're pretty cool. All right, let's see. Yeah, the response fleets. If you want to gank the haulers, the hauler, the miners hardly. They've got like ore and that's it. But the hauler sometimes can have a skin for Blood Raiders, and sometimes, rarely, you'll find an Orca skin. So, you know, if you can combat probe them down, by all means do so if you've got spare time, spare bodies, and if you've got a scout distracting the response fleet, the miners and hauler will just stay absolutely dead still, even if you're shooting at them. So you don't need much to kill them. You don't need to point there or anything. You just gank them. Just have that scout distracting the orbiting the asteroid belt at 1,000 kilometers or something, you know, at really high speeds. The defense fleet starburst, by that I mean it'll warp out to 400 and then warp immediately back on top of their chosen target. The battleships will try to warp away so they can keep at 100 kilometers of their chosen target, but if they're choosing something else, like these guys, and support ships come in and tackle them or just start shooting them at close range, they won't warp away from those, only their chosen target. So it's possible to come in with support ships, gank the battleship's auger logi team, which by the way will not help any crewers close in tackle. It's pretty sad. But yeah, you can gank those and gank the battleships as long as they don't switch targets to something nearby, and then they starburst off and, you know, do their thing. Yeah, and these folks never get beyond 40 clicks, so it should be pretty easy to take them out. Yeah, that's a good hit on them, and yeah, don't even think you need this. I'm sure you probably get more damage this way. Let's see. How much range do I get with 39? Yeah, they never get beyond really 40, honestly. I'll probably get more damage that way. Maybe, I'm assuming. Yeah, as long as you're close together, they'll orbit their chosen target, you know? go. Everybody's getting close, and yeah, they go down pretty quick. There's no local tank on these things. It's just buffer. Oh, lag. And dead. Yeah, if you've got support ships outside 1,500 kilometers from the FOB, they won't be attacked by any rats. They will be targeted by the response fleet, but they don't starburst, so it's pretty funny. Yeah, slow boating. And yeah, inside 350 or 360 something kilometers, you will trigger the FOB response defense fleets. So as long as you're prepping outside that area before you go in, you'll be fine. And anything in a shuttle, a corvette, or pod will not get, or cloaked, will not get the reward at the end. I tested that myself. All this stuff is tested myself. Nothing depending on the forums or any hearsay. And if I've heard it, I've tested it. So, yeah. Just call my drones, yay, mouse button. There we go. Everybody's drones are in? Yep. Wonder, I don't know if we've got a freighter nearby. I show you the skin. Whoop. Yeah, I'll go do that. Probably faster in a pod, maybe. No, screw it, I'll just, no. Faster for me in the long run. Let's go grab that. 100 disc. What a deal. Let's see. What else is there? There's a bunch of things actually. If you don't like the spawn, you can always leave and it'll despawn. Oh, sometimes within 15 minutes. If there's battleships, it's a bit annoying because they like to slow boat in towards the FOB and then despawn, so it can be aggravating. Some instances, it's kind of buggy. Everything about FOBs is sort of buggy. So it gets a bit weird. You cannot depend on a certain spawn. It will be RNG no matter. Oh, and when a FOB spawns, there are stages, I believe it's 12 hours of, within 12 hours, it won't, or 6, I forget. I'm pretty sure it's 12. Anyways, anything in that period, it won't spawn haulers or, you know, it won't spawn haulers and miners. It just won't. Therefore, you don't have to deal with that. Each increment of that period of time increases the detection range by, so for that first initial bit, you only detect the FOB within the system. Each additional increment of time, I believe, is 12 hours. 50% sure. Actually, 66% sure. The detection range increases each time until you get to about 5 jumps, and beyond 5 jumps, it doesn't matter how old it is, won't be detected. If there's 2 FOBs in system, it can be a bit trippy because sometimes there's whipping back and forth between both FOBs, and it's really trippy, very disconcerting. I'm not sure, I haven't seen it yet, whether they interact. Oh, what the? I swear to frickin' God, I said... What? Oh, crap. Durr. Lol. That's pretty hilarious. It's weird though. That's got to be an artifact of singularity, that it showed 4 jumps when in fact it was at, you know, that's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be an artifact of singularity. All right, let's see if I can get this done quicker. Come on. If I can type fast. All right, obelisk. Yeah, the rain had gotten her settings all reset. And yeah, I don't know why. It just it randomly happens. It used to happen a lot, like a decade ago. It just, all your settings would be gone, all your everything, your windows would be set back to default, and just it would just happen randomly. You'd be like, okay, time to start all over again. I don't think it got rid of your bookmarks. Pretty sure. Yeah, almost positive about that. But yeah, oh, it was annoying. Yeah, it was quite annoying. Ah, crap. Yeah. Wait for it. That was hilarious. Sorry it got delayed there. Whatever, I'll just go back to my people and jump aboard that ship. Alright. Where's my next victim? Oh, okay. Not available. Oh, yeah, do be careful about your pod when you're draining the FOB. If there's any rats there, they will target your pod. It won't spawn anything, but it will target the FOB. I mean, they will kill your pod. So yeah, do be careful. Yeah, there's so many things to learn about this stuff. Oh, by the way, never ever think it's a good idea to warp in nesters. Nesters, nesters have this ridiculous spawn. You will have to flee immediately from the field. Yeah, it's yeah, flee like whipped dogs. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. Um, Dominic's are pretty good. A little bit better than Geddon's. I prefer Geddon's just because I'm our Victor. Then Lashak's. Lashak's have low spawn chance because it's calculated from your base attack, so it doesn't take into account that eventually Lashaks are the best against structures. So it just, yeah, it's pretty funny. So yeah, it's not what you have equipped. It's just the hull. It just calculates off the hull. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Sure. Buy some inertia, make it go faster. Yes, yes. Yeah, there's so many. So if you've got little ships on field and there's remote repping battleships and other stuff, I like battleships because of the buffer, the tank, and yeah, everything that they survive nasty upsets a lot better than these Strekivaks. But yeah, it seems to be working out fine. Like support ships on the field, they will hardly be targeted. You can tell when they're going to be targeted because things start starbursting, and you go, "Oh, go!" They're targeting something other than the central DPS boats that are shooting the structure close in. So as soon as you see them starburst, it's like, "Oh, time to get out." But until then, you can attack things free of being attacked. It's pretty cool. Make sure I'm going the right direction. Cool. There we go. I'll keep it at that for now. Well, maybe not. I'll switch back. Yeah, Cult is good. It's excellent, in fact. I do keep a lot of it because you will go through quite a bit going through FOBs. You'll run out of ammo before you know it. I find the best support ships to bring along are Rooks because you can have very heavy missile damage, and at the same time you can East Jam augers, which are, if you've got 2 or more, at 3 or more. I've only seen 3 as maximum, but if there's 3 Logi on the field, it's really tough. The Drakivaks do great against them, but I'm fairly sure they can take down 1 even if there's 2 other augers repping it. Pretty sure. I mean, I saw the damage ramp up on these. Yeah, you were just great. I was using Maison Exotic. It's for the range and tracking, but it seemed to be that Mystic was working just as well. So yeah, there's that. What other stuff? I think pretty much plumbed the depths of this one. But yeah, that first thing I was testing, that you warped in one by one, you can get 3 other boats exactly like it right on top. I don't know why Seneschal triggered that last reinforcement wave of 3 or 4 curves. I'd like to hazard a guess that it's because she shares a different profile, launcher profile, but no, that's probably just wishful thinking. It's probably it's just some kind of mechanic that'll allow 3 other of the same type without reinforcement, but the 4th extra ship of the same type will spawn a reinforcement. I'd like to think it's the launcher profile, but I don't think so. And it might be just, yeah, if it's the launcher profile, it could be tied to, I don't think it's tied to an IP, you know. I honestly have no idea. But yeah, we saw that happening. So, pretty interesting. Yeah, and they will. The rats will definitely prioritize anything remote repping each other, and that way, will ignore drones. So, by the way, if you think launching drones and killing the structure by, you know, draining the FOB's capacitor and then getting outside of its range and then just orbiting, and the defense fleet is chasing you, the hauler will trigger its response fleet if it detects drones nearby. And I've seen it myself. I've seen it. And they just rape the drones, and all your drones are dead. So what do you do now? So yeah, if you're going to do it solo, distract the defense fleet. And if you can't do that, and if you only want one client, kill the defense fleet. The hauler and miners will despawn. That's a guarantee. That'll solve your problems. And if you can tank the response fleet, which is hopefully light, sometimes it's heavy, remember RNG, you can combat probe the hauler. You've got to get on top of it. You've got to point it, because if you aren't distracting the defense fleet, it will try to, everything will try to flee. So point, if you're one client, combat probe down the hauler, get to it, point it, prevent it from getting away, kill it, and the response fleet will, I believe, bugger off at that point. They might stick around until the miners are dead too, but regardless, gank that hauler, and it's dead, and then you maybe get a skin out of it. But yeah, gank the response fleet. You could warp away from the response fleet if you can, and they'll despawn, and you won't have to worry about it when you attack the FOB. Hopefully do it before downtime, because if it's after downtime, they all regenerate. The blood, nothing will drop any, diamond rats won't drop any loot except the FOB. And don't try to salvage anything. It's pathetic. Loot all. Inventory. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Blood Raider thing. Da da da. Open container. Burp. I know, right? It needs this. And it needs that. That's it. And then you get this. There you go. take a better picture. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, about... Yay, that'll do. Where is my ship? Yeah. Oh, I left it at the lol. Jettison. Eject. Yeah, it's just a matter of sending your scout ahead to find the next FOB. There we go. Alright. Hopefully that was helpful.